Good evening, everyone, and welcome to, I think it's episode 59 of The Treat Show. It might be episode 58. Sorry, guys. We have a small crowd in the chat tonight for our Monday switch, but I am so grateful for who is in the chat. So thank you so much. The silent one, Penny Pebbler. I'm super excited to see you guys. How is the week going? I feel like you guys might be a little disappointed again because my guest had to reschedule for next Monday. So the good news is we have two shows lined up for the following Monday and the Monday after that. We have two special guests. I'm really excited. They're both growers that have been in the game for a good amount of time. One of the gentlemen joining us next week, he used to grow for 14ers and he's now growing for a facility in, I believe, Longmont, but we will have to dive in further with him. But he worked with 14ers for a long time, and I will say he's one of my favorites. Talented gentleman. Also, we have Brainstrap from Area 420 that's going to be following us joining us the following Monday, and he's going to be showing us his outside greenhouses and their setup, which is completely opposite of what we talk about most time on this show. So thank you very much for hanging in there. I was going to try to pull up a couple pictures tonight, but we also didn't have time for that. That's okay. That's okay. We have some exciting things also tomorrow. Tomorrow is Jason from Dark Horse Genetics, the owner. It's his birthday. So everybody feel free to send as many DMs, reposts, anything exciting to make this special day extra special. We are so grateful for you guys, and I am so grateful for Jason and Dark Horse. I don't know what we'd do without him. And we wouldn't have the treat show. So, anyways, let's see what's going on. Buzz Swan, so good to see you. Guerrero Grows, lovely to see you. Let's see. Oh, who else? Gerhardt. Oh my goodness, Gerhardt. I've been trying to call my buddy Gerhardt all week long. But Gerhardt, you just hang in with me. Got a couple more things to catch up on tomorrow, and we are coasting. Same with my clone orders. Just so everybody knows, is I will be sending out clones this week. Okay, it's going to be later this week, but it's happening finally. Thank you so much for your patience. I know it's been a long ride. It's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I know it sucks. But I appreciate it. When we get the new grow in the dispensary, I'm going to be doing the clone business differently, which is going to make all of you happier. And I think myself is instead of having like these huge lists or change out of lists pretty often, it makes it a little bit more tricky, honestly, to get everybody's orders and things always maintained. We have a pretty big library now. So we're going to start cutting rounds of strains, and I'm going to list the strains so that they're ready upon order instead of choosing the genetics first and then cutting them. We still might do that sometimes, but anyways, this will just make it easier, I think, on everybody. You guys tell me what you think. The next show, I'll tell you some of the strains. I know I have a list on my phone I could go through if you guys are interested in clones, but we could just wait for now. What's everybody smoking on? Tell me what you're smoking. I want to know. Sorry, I got weed on my lips. I got hat hair falling apart. So this is the Purple Starburst. This is Dark Horse's, one of Dark Horse's, like, I don't want to say signature strains, but he is known for growing this fire. And it's pretty hard to find in the market. From what I've seen, it's a pretty hard strain to get a hold of. I'll double check. I'll look it up right now. I know it's got Skittles in it, but I can't remember the other side. This is where I need Disbanded. He's always saving me and you guys in here. Disbanded, it was so good to see you in the chat too. Hold on. Purple Starburst. You guys will be impressed, I feel like, if you ever get the chance to try this strain. We honestly hold this one really close. Unfortunately, we don't sell this cut because nobody really has her in this area, which is cool sometimes to be able to have a little exception in your grow. Anyways, let's see. Purple Starburst, also called Purple Starburst number 2. Is this actually accurate? Let's go down a little bit. Starburst OG crossed with Purple Punch. Eh, well, I'm really failing then. Yeah, it says Starburst with Purple Punch. That's actually really surprising to me because this does not really taste like Purple Punch at all. That's why I thought the Skittles was definitely in there, is it pulls more of a Z flavor. I'll have to double check with Jason to see if this is the right cross. For some reason, I'm kind of questioning it. Anyways, what are you guys chiefing on? Let's check out. Let's check it out. The silent one, gosh, way to make my decade. I really appreciate it. Seriously, Joffrey, so lovely to see you. Disbanded, I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Thanks for making me feel so good. Oh, love for the plant. So good to see you too. Dabbing on Grease Monkey, Colorado home grower cut of live resin. That sounds delicious. It really, really does. It's like smoking Z. Yes, Joffrey, thank you. It's like, that's why I was like, I am not a fan of Purple Punch. I hate to say this because Brainstrap one time, I was talking smack on Purple Punch right after he just did a breeding project with it. And this happens to be pretty often. Like, there is a good amount of growers that we work with that breed with Purple Punch. And I'm unfiltered when it comes to this, even never as a mean thing. Never, ever. And it's not that these strains, everybody has their preference, and I respect all of that. But I will say, Purple Punch and some of those like really flavorful, sweet strains, kind of similar to like the Runts or the White Runts or some of those other ones, is I don't know what it is. It's not only do the strains not get me high, but they just like don't have this bold. It's too bold. It's too dominating of the sweet stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because when I look at the Grease Monkey, that is like such a flavorful. It's so, especially the hash. I can't even imagine. Is to me it's such a kush, like bold, almost reminds you of like those Chems, like old school Chems. To me, it's just it comes in and it wrecks you. It's coming in hot, and it kind of stains your mouth. I feel like that flavor lingers. Versus like the Purple Punch and stuff, I'm just like, I can't taste weed. It tastes like candy or something. It really does. Wannabe candy. Yes, Joffrey. Yes. Gerhardt Rainbow Belt. The Rainbow Belts is probably one of my favorite strains. We do sell the Rainbow Belts, and it is one of our more expensive strains that we sell. But I will say it is worth it if you are into the Skittles flavor at all and you want a plant that is, I would say it's like a step up from Skittles, not as far as the boldness of the flavor itself, but it's such a more resilient plant and yields so much better and finishes. Skittles can finish pretty quick, actually. I know a lot of companies and a lot of people that pull that strain at like 50 something days. It's pretty crazy. But, and there's theories, with the Skittles that if you keep her going too long, like 9-10 weeks or longer, she doesn't do well. So you guys tell me if you've ran the Skittles and you've seen anything like this. But the Rainbow Belts I've seen where it does finish at a good time. It finishes around 9 weeks. I think you can go 10 weeks, 11 sometimes. But sometimes 11 weeks on the Rainbow Belts is even too long, where you will see kind of the decline in, I think, the terpene content itself. I could be wrong. This could just be my opinion, but I think I would go for the Rainbow Belts. Those that haven't grown it or just setting up their grows, this is one that would be good inside. It's really resilient to even powder mildew and things like that for being what I would call a low feeder. Any of those Skittles, Rainbow Belts, this Purple Starburst, it's weird is I found that I feed them higher, I guess hotter, in weeks 1 through 3 specifically. Is my EC of the Treat Nutrients line sits about 1.6 to 1.8 in those first 3 weeks, which is pretty high for my feed. It usually sits around 1.4 to 1.6, and that's my little pick-me-up, I guess. And they seem to do really well with that. But then seems like after week 3, if I start tapering them down to really sitting around that 1.6 and 1.5, they seem to do better than if I keep increasing the feed past like an EC of 1.8 or 2, especially, it's almost like they're like, this is too much. I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me. Hey, Purple Punch is better as a cross for sure. All telescope Uranus, yes. I would say that there is a lot that can come out of it. The purple starburst, like I said, it is one of our favorite strains in the garden. And it doesn't, I was trying to see if I had any weed up here. Jason took it. It doesn't, it has a really nice bud structure too. Purple Punch gets really large. I don't know if Purple Punch is another one that finishes really early, but it does stack. And the weight, I would say it's kind of misleading for as big as the colas look. It's still pretty fluffy. Sometimes you can get those really dense nugs though. I have seen it do pretty well. But I think when you do cross it, it seems aesthetically to still pull this really pretty presentation. And I know people cringe when I say that, but it really does carry a great bag appeal. And it does have a flavor that is so bold that when you open a bag or something, it's very like get you in your face. But I think if you choose the right thing, I guess just like all breeding to cross it with, it really does change it. Dante's Inferno. I know Dark Horse had Dave on the show. I'm trying to remember their company. I apologize. But he works a lot with the Dante's Inferno. And that's another one that right when I smoked it, I was like, this is Purple Punch. It is just, again, aesthetically, you guys tell me what you've seen. Purple Punch and Mac 1, I feel were very popular around the same time. And they both had these trichomes that would get very swollen, like very poofy clouds almost. And they looked like they would test in these insane numbers. And it's funny because it seems like the opposite is most of these strains, even that I listed off, they have results that Skittles can test as low as 15%, I would say is an average that I've consistently seen across multiple growers. And the Rainbow Belts, that one's one that I see sit around 22 to 24 average. You can get these again higher, but it's just consistently I see them kind of sit on the lower spectrum of things. Sometimes they have additional terpenes or cannabinoids going on, but not really though. It's Super Boof crossed with Permanent Marker. Ooh, 44D. Is that, wait. I messed up. I'm not sure where you guys are at. Nothing stains mouth more than Tangy. Tangy definitely is one that is very, very powerful. I love Tangy. I used to have both cuts. I used to have DNA's cut and who's the other? I can't remember. DNA's cut was my favorite. It was more of a candy Tangy. But the clinic was where I was working at the time that Tangy really launched. It was very bold, and they were doing a lot of batters. This is in 2014, 2015, and using the shit out of Tangy and kosher, but Tangy definitely. They were working with Crockett and some of these guys really closely on Tangy specifically, but I really, really like the Tangy. It's just you have to be in a mood for Tangy, I feel like. And Tangy's kind of a difficult plant to grow correctly, I think. Some people, I think, have had a really easy time growing Tangy, where it just stacks and it's almost like some of these hazes that we see that are huge and just massive, fluffy but big nugs, where you can pull like 2 pounds, 3 pounds of plant, I think even at your house with strains like that. But I also feel like Tangy, you can get tired of really quick if that's all you have to smoke. Because it's just on your clothes. You're totally right. With staining your mouth, love for the plant, I think you just stain everything. Your hands, you're like, I have clementines. But it is really good. I remember the first time I smoked Tropicana cookies is I guessed the cross because Tangy and Girl Scout, you could just taste in Tropicana so distinctively. And it was that Tangy just like flooding your mouth, even the first time I ever smoked Tropicana, because it was just so Tangy. Every time I grow orange weed, it ends up in edibles. Yes, rusty nails. I could see that. Edibles would probably be really delicious if you found a good way to emphasize the Tangy flavor in there. I'm not good with edibles. I will be honest that it's great to have a clean product that we start with to extract to add into all these other things and products. But I'm not the baker or the chef that I wish I was. Some of these people I see in the industry just blow my mind like forever. We should get some of those guys on the show. Not sure this is the OG cut though. Sometimes it's hard to know. HLVD and Fusarium has been throwing people off, I think, in regards to, or even I would say additionally to that, even when you're running cold water in the, say, let's just say the winter time when our water is coming out at like 40 degrees, let's just say on average, is if you don't have a heater or something additionally warming the water in the room, is I have seen plants genetically totally change their composition, is almost, they do have HLVD going on, is they don't. Sorry to specify this or make this confusing without photos, but I wonder if some of us have ever seen genetics where they sway because of some of these obstacles that we'll get in a garden. The reason that I was going off on the last show about people saying the HLVD that I gave them with clones is the reason I got so upset with that is because we get tested on a regular basis and we test so above and beyond on parts of the plant. And it's something that I'm really passionate about because I've corrected so many businesses with this battle for over a decade. And it's something I take so seriously because I have seen the damage that it will cause in a commercial facility or a home grow. And then the reason that Dark Horse and all of us have such a good bond together is he cares so much as well on this really being the best that we can possibly give somebody as a healthy fresh start. Like genuinely, we do have a garden that our clones feed our garden, and like I said, we're testing on such a regular basis and so closely with the lab. We're one of the very few companies in Colorado that works directly with this lab. So when these people came back to me, first, they came back months later and they said that this strain tested hot for HLVD. And I'm sorry for not explaining this better because both of these people I gave multiple genetics to. So let's just say more than 10. And they messaged me back with this one strain out of these 10 plants or more has the HLVD. And the reason that I got frustrated is because not only are these individually tested as clones and moms and different phases throughout veg, all these different things, that I'm taking these clones from these plants, is we're being so hyperactive with it and over the top that when these people contacted me saying this, is they have absolutely no testing results to like show me in exchange to say, hey, we just got these tested from this lab and this comes up with HLVD, then I would feel completely different probably. I would also like to say that you have to go into a person's garden and really see their plants next to these strains. Is if I give you clean strains, and I know that because that's our biggest niche and value in selling these genetics, is I restore them even for the breeders. And if people really knew that I get paid and compensated to fix people's genetics, even from them directly, they would know that we've gone through extreme lengths to make sure that they get this clean clone. So if they don't come back with a test result, or if I can't see their facility to see if something else is getting HLVD to flare, that's what I didn't specify very clearly, is if you have root aphids, fungus gnats, thrips, if you have water temperature fluctuations, if you have powder mildew, if you have even irrigation obstacles where things aren't feeding correctly, where they're either getting overfed or underfed, is you can get HLVD to flare in a plant pretty easily, especially if you put all these compounds together, which usually happens to us when we get insects. Like our plants will start kind of waterlogging and not uptaking as easily. So the hard part for me is not that you can't take accountability or anything like that. It's just that we're a very accountable business. And especially, I can't even say especially, like this is all we care about. And ensuring that you have a healthy, safe clones, seeds, everything. And I think that it's insulting when somebody comes back 6 months later and is like, hey, you gave me this dirty plant. Excuse me. But it's like, instead of approaching it like that, why don't we go through the variables that maybe your garden's honestly in a part of early decline where some of these symptoms, it has nothing to do with this, is say there's fusarium in your water, or if you have other ill plants there, like I want to see their test results of their full garden, because we have 100% clean tested facility. And the plants that I do obtain that are sick to fix, I do that as a full-time job as well, is those are completely separated and isolated in a completely different space, in quarantine space, and just, I can't even describe it, but a completely different location and treated completely different. So I don't know. That's all I meant. It's not saying that it doesn't matter. It definitely matters. But I almost felt a little haterade from this group because we actually get really positive feedback on our clones. Or on the flip, we've had things that during shipping or something, allegedly, is that the stocks, like one time we tried this new packaging, and I'll be honest about this, they were clone travelers or clone shippers, and they were supposed to be extra legit. We spent a good amount on them, and they were complete shit. Is some of the clones ended up getting transferred and their stocks broke. And those people messaged me back, and we got them all new cuts and sent them in a completely different thing and just had success. We have moved through this obstacle a long time now, with the containers and things that these come in. But the thing is yeah, we've had definitely hit obstacles where somebody will have to message me and be like, can I get that one more time? Because this, or some people will forget them in their mailbox. That's definitely happened in the winter or something like that. But yeah, we don't have many people complain, and we have a lot of supportive people helping us, keep everybody's businesses afloat, honestly, and genuine like feedback. At the same time of all these clients, that's what they don't realize, is a lot of other people, like hundreds of people, are getting clones at the same time and have no problems. So then when you see these oddball kind of results out of, it's like 1,000 orders, is you're just like, huh. And because I'm a consultant, it's intriguing to me to be like, should we go through your garden? But there's not really like an appropriate way to go about that sometimes. Anyways, let's move on from that subject. But I wanted to show really quick. I did want to show a garden that I did a couple years ago that's small again. And the first day that I walked through it is I was going through these photos this afternoon, and there was plants, once again, that have just HLVD and plants that have just fusarium, and then the collaboration together. Ghost Train Haze is one of the plants in this picture, and I really want to use it to show you guys because Ghost Train Haze is a massive plant. It grows very large, and it's fan leaves, and it's very tall. It's a haze. And so anyways, this picture, you'll see this like sprawled out, squished up plant that looks so disfigured, and is the color is really light. You'll see like a lot more yellowing and browning and things in the plant than vigorous green, right? And the only reason I want to show these things is because I want to show that Ghost Train Haze was completely annihilated, and it did take at least 6 to 9 months to get back genetically to its true form. But you can definitely do it. I know that we need to do some follow-up on that, but I just want to see if this makes it easier for other people to identify some of these things in their garden with their eyes. Or if you are going through a lab, we should talk about it. We should talk about it. You guys should share your labs. We talk about Toomey Genomics. We have in the past quite often. They've been on all the podcasts, The Adam Dunn Show, Dark Horse, not mine. But I work really closely with Dr. Tessa, and I feel she's going to come on one day, but it's been a little busy for everybody. But if you guys do have any specific questions for her, let me know. And she can detail even how extended our lengths are of she's done all of these grows and all these facilities where I've restored and fixed these clones. She's seen them test dirty. She's seen them test clean. Yeah. So I'm just curious where you guys stand with all that. One is straight candy. John Dominguez. Yellow Skittles Twerps. Fall Dog. So good to see you. Smoking RK91 and Sunday Driver. I miss the Sunday Driver. I will say out of like a newer strain in the last 10 years, I was sad that I lost the Sunday Driver. I kind of want her back. She's a pretty one. This pheno is all Chem 91. Flavor and taste. Currently, I have one Deepwater Culture Day. Oh, sorry. DWC. Sorry, that's like my automatic. DWC Day number 9 of Bloom. This Bloom is popping off. He's been like so busy, period, in the last couple of years. But I will say, Bloom, I love his gear. Is Harry Palms, I'm not sure. I get so confused with these things sometimes. But Harry Palms, I have been blessed with obtaining some of these cuts throughout the years. Candy Fumes and what is it? The Dulce. And I feel both of those strains are really nice. Really, really nice. He does nice work. Bloom, all of them. I know they have a shit ton. The Tropicana cookies was huge. I know that was like all that shenanigans too with it. Let's see. John Dominguez. The other has the same term plus some gas. Super tasty. I need the nasty. I have found very few sweet ones to get me high. Rusty nails. Yeah, that's the thing, is I like sweet strains. It's not that I don't like it at all or something. It's just the effects are so mild that I think they would be great for somebody that maybe wants to smoke throughout the day and doesn't have quite a huge tolerance, or you want to just kind of like fulfill like a little snack or something. I think that they're good for just more of like a clear high. Almost reminds me of like hash in some ways. It's obviously not as strong, but yeah, I want weed to get me pretty high. I'll be honest about that. I used to only smoke OGs, and I thought that was so cool, and I just refused to smoke anything else. And then I was missing out on all these phenomenal strains for so long, just being stubborn. So I started actually just smoking. Just smoke them if you got them. And I'll just try everything. I try all of our weeds. Sometimes we grow things that all of us aren't necessarily our favorite strains, but the truth is the market likes a lot of these strains, or people just have these diverse tastes and palates and effects, like we're saying that, yeah. But the Kushes are kind of, the OGs and stuff, they're so finicky. You guys tell me what you think. Not all of them. Ghost OG is pretty resilient if you dial it in perfect. Same with Kosher. But the Mars, Phantom OG, some of those strains, I would say, are awful to grow. You have to baby them so well and almost be on the edge of powder mildew at any given time. RS11 here, cheers, Buzz Swan, you bougie mother trucker. I want to cut the rainbow sherbet so bad. Like, I'm saying like a shit ton. And it's funny because I'm into this strain as I say this so much, but everybody's like in the garden, they're like, Jason's like, it's not my favorite. And our other grower, Colin, he's like, this isn't the greatest, but I totally am in love with the RS11. I think it's one of my favorite strains that I have smoked. How Jason feels about Skittles is how I feel about RS11. Is the Rainbow Sherbet has blown my mind as far as having an orange kind of flavor, not like Tangy where it's over dominating. It's very subtle, but I think it has a very vanilla bean taste, and it just grows so well. It looks so good. I had that strain one time when I first got it. Super sick. Had HLVD, had Fusarium, and sometimes I'll flower them. Again, this is like not to smoke. This is different, but to see different like research and development of like what weeks they're really flaring and what you can use to combat some of these things. Just whatever. And the RS11 changed so much in such a short amount of time, being exposed to insects, that I watched it completely transform, where it just annihilated this plant. And I swear it's because it has that nice flavor that these, I think it had root aphids when I got it, and they just annihilated this plant. But no, now she's good and she grows fantastic. But I do remember you would not approve the first time that I tried to show everybody her. I was like, guys, let me show you my fucked up flower room. And they were just, yeah, they were like, we don't want to smoke that, any of that. But Jason finally got to see it finish healthy. And that's what I mean by how much these things can change genetics. That's why I want to show some of these pictures. Is it's just a strange thing to think sometimes you have to grow, not you guys, sometimes I've had to grow sick plants to understand how to treat them better. And RS11 is one that she wants it good. She wants it all perfect. But she finishes pretty early. What do you think, Bud Swan? I think that her finish time is nice. It's nice for us, especially commercially, if you can finish strains in a reasonable amount of time, and rotate through these rooms. And we have full harvest, so our rooms actually come down instead of having rows or trays that we're perpetually harvesting or filling. We still have a perpetual harvest, but slightly different than some people will operate, or similar to a lot of operators out there. But we need more of her. We need more. Cock it. Mook, Romulan in the bowl in Oz. Old school. Romulan. Grew that strain a long time ago too. I haven't grown Romulan. Pink House had Romulan, which was like amazing actually. That was 2015. But I probably haven't seen Harmony extracts. When I was working at Harmony, we had Romulan. That's the last time, and that was 2017. I don't really see her. I'm really jealous, Mook. If you could get that cut or trade, you just let me know. I miss her though. That's another one that grows all dense. The Romulan reminds me of almost supercritical mass. Did anybody grow that? It didn't taste good like the Romulan, but same with, what was it? The redheaded, was it redheaded step something or step? Kind of reminded me of the Romulan because of the orange hairs. I can't fucking remember the name. Sorry. Slurricane. Gosh, Fall Doug, I forgot about Slurricane. I feel Slurricane was one that just aesthetically, again, beautiful, drop dead gorgeous, almost reminded me of Super Silver Haze on steroids. I think it is just huge. It stacks so freaking nice. It would always dump though. I remember that strain, for as good as it tasted, it would return you the greatest yield as well. Most strains that I'm in love with don't yield shit. And that is one that would just dump. You tell me what you think. I cannot believe that you brought that up, Fall Dog. That's amazing. There was a pheno that tastes like mystery flavor Airheads. Ooh. That is probably the best description I have ever heard of a strain. That sounds delicious. I think I'll have to go on a mission for her. I wonder if anybody has it around. That's another one that just, I miss these. Concentrated is the only way to get the orange potent. Yes. Rusty Nails. That's a good. Tangy's just the only one that I think is just like. But I do think the RS11 hash would be phenomenal. I will be honest. I have had it extracted, but I don't even think I smoked the hash when it was extracted. I'm such a flower. Unless I put like bubble hash or rosin in blunts, it's ridiculous. But I really am such a flower baby. On the Adam Dunn show, we used to smoke a lot more hash, I guess, but I haven't been smoking that much hash lately. Maybe I should. I've been smoking the Skittles from 710, but that's just because the flavor, like what we're talking about, Gary. You know, Gerhardt. Let's see. Guerrero Grows Super Perm is nasty. GMO type profile. It's awesome that you say this. So GMO is a strain we do have available for sale. Sounds so scummy, but it's true because I forgot about how wonderful GMO was. I had to get her back this year. We have it in one of our flower rooms that's coming down in 2 weeks. Pretty excited to see her. I will show you guys pictures. I'll bring the weed on too with the time. Well, maybe not from there, but we've got GMO coming. And I think you will be excited. If you guys haven't smoked GMO, that's another one. Or grown it. I think GMO is such an easy plant to grow, and it is so resilient. I think. You tell me Guerrero grows what you think. It does have that flavor though. That's like through the like papaya. Joffrey. Oh, papaya. Love the papaya. I think that papaya has gotten out to quite a few people now. And I think there's a group of us that might be the problem as to why. Maybe it's not a problem. But I knew the guy that originally brought it to Colorado. He's a 97 cut. He got it from California. And it is absolutely phenomenal. It's another one that I watched get real healthy and had her healthy for like 10 years. And then when HLVD, I would say I took in a whole bunch of plants a couple years back, and I ended up getting my papaya sick with aphids. It's always aphids for me. Usually that's what I get as clones. And people giving me genetics is thrips and aphids, I would say. But usually thrips or aphids or rude aphids will all set that kind of off. But I watched my papaya go to shit one time, and it was so scary. It was one of the plants that I was like terrified to lose, because I was like, who can I get this back from? But I've come to realize that there's quite a few people that have papaya. But I love her. I charge extra for papaya because I want everybody that gets her to love her the same. And I know that sounds bad, but the flavor is great. It does have this guava kind of subtle. I think it's more subtle, especially the hash though. I'm saying the hash is actually incredible though. It doesn't yield that insane. The straw guava does better as far as the hash return. And I kind of like the flavor with the straw nana and the papaya together. I can't say more, but they're different. The papaya, though, grows very small. I would say if you're growing in a tent, papaya is a great strain for it. It has just enough density in the colas, but they're not huge where you have to worry about bud rot or anything like that, or even curing in a tight space. It works really well. It's not airy either. They're just like these little dense snowballs. It really is just like a little snowball. If you guys haven't grown hair, you should. Mook used Bruce Banner as a dad in a recent cross. Skunk #1 crossed with Northern Lights #2 as the mom. Jeez, Mook. If you ever feel like sharing any of those bad boys, you let us know too. That sounds incredible. I can't imagine how good. Talk about bud structure. I bet that those crosses all together are just going to be phenomenal. You're going to have like 10-pound plants. That would probably be a great cross to run outside, actually, because all those finishing times aren't that bad. Once again, maybe with the skunk you could go a little bit longer, but if you were in a good like Arizona, New Mexico, like some of these places, I feel like you could crush with that cross, Mook. Sounds so beautiful. Love for the plant. Buddy and I are hunting a 50-pack of blood orange crossed with Tangy at the moment. I had the kind love cut of Tangy for a while, but let it go. Dang. I think that might have been the other cut that I had. Maybe really, honestly, was from kind love. Now that you say that, I don't think it was. I got DNAs. It was like a whole thing. But that one, yeah, I think it was the same cut. I don't know. But that sounds amazing. I think the blood orange, is it supposed to be more tangy, like more flavorful orange? Or are those ones different? You tell me, love for the plant, because this sounds beautiful too. I imagine the bud structure of even that is better. Tangy's bud structure wasn't my favorite. It really isn't. Like weed that has those fingering or foxtailing almost look, like it's not actually foxtailing, but it just has that little fingers and stuff going on. I'm not crazy about growing it. I love smoking it, but it's just, you guys, yeah. Have you seen that? If I have like a uniform canopy or you're using trellis and stuff, sometimes they just get too big or they'll get actually caught on the trellis and stuff. And it just, I don't know what it is, but it's just, I think that would be better if you had them together like this. This is what we're talking about, the beauty to breeding. I love seeing you guys crush like this. Love for the plant. Hoping to find a replacement of Tangy, but even more orange terps. That would be cool. It really would. Especially if you got... Tangy is actually something that... It almost smells like the flowers to me on an actual orchard. Like, orchard, yeah. Is on orange trees and you smell the blooms before the oranges really start producing the fruit, it really smells like that to me. And it tastes like that to me. It's just like yeah. Versus, I think if you could get more orange flavor, I know that sounds ridiculous when I'm describing what I just did, but love for the plant, you probably get it. Rusty Nails flamethrower from Greenway Solutions that I grew smells just like orange peel. Oh, that sounds awesome. I want to check this out, Rusty Nails, because I feel like flamethrower from Greenway Solutions. Why can't that name is so familiar to me and I can't think of them. I'm gonna have to check this out tonight, Rusty Nails. I'm gonna go look. Smells just like orange peels. I think that would be cool to take your orange peel one and we breed strawberry banana together. And we make a little smoothie. I don't know. If you have that nice little orange peel, Penny Pebbler starting a vanilla auto at the moment for that mid-range. I love that. I love it. Oh, you have to tell me too, Penny. I think that sounds just so... There's something about that vanilla flavor that I wish I could breed everything with, but I know it would get tiresome of a flavor, I think. It could be kind of powerful too, but excuse me, it's my favorite. And it's so rare that I see now. I just need it. I just need it. If you guys ever want to trade, you just let me know. I'd like more oranges in my selection. The straight lemonade, I know this has nothing to do with oranges, but it's actually like a lemon head. I just opened the weed. Like, it's not even the weed. It's like you can have a vegging plant of the straight lemonade and it just smells like lemon heads. It doesn't need to flower. When it gets into flower, it just gets real extra. When I was growing with Dank by Pank, they placed first in like a lot of competitions and they called it Pank Lemonade because it was just this very unique citrus in your face lemon. And I have the cut. And I've been contemplating if I want to breed that, though, with, like, a Tangy. I know there was some crosses like that. There is. I'm trying to remember. Like, Super Lemon Haze, stuff like that. But I'd like to find more, like, what you guys are talking about. Like, these other orange terpenes. If you guys are ever interested in doing something cool, you let me know. Doing go, Dan. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. I hope that you're having a really good week. What are you smoking on? Are doing good? Go, Dan. Sorry. Oh. Fall Dog, this week I ordered apple fritter cross with Zope. The Zope, I've been smoking it and I haven't grown it. It's one straight out, really haven't grown at all. And I've smoked it a couple of different times and I'm like, shit, should I get this? It looks really nice in the finished product. I wish I knew more about it. You tell me, Fall Dog, because it does look gorgeous. The apple fritter I absolutely love. Wish I could get the cut bag. Love it. Those two together. Gosh. You guys just got like the Gucci of grow stuff going on. When I'm looking in your guys' grow bags and gears and your crosses, this is what I'm talking about. You guys have the fire. Skywalker cross with White Widow. Yes. I was just thinking about White Widow the other day. I was like, what I would do to get White Widow back. Just White Widow. It's just, I haven't seen that straight in at least 10 years. Miss her. Skywalker was one of my favorites back in the day. Smoke, toke, everything. Love the Skywalker. I ordered some rare dankness too. Some Venom OG and the Rugburn OG. Ooh. Fall Dog, awesome. I think you guys bring up strains that I forgot. Like the Venom OG, the way that grew was so nice. It was another one that reminds me of Ghost OG when it's dialed in. I don't know if you guys have grown Ghost, but Venom, they're just similar to me, but they have no leaves. They're not like larfy, leafy plants. They're just so clean. You almost have to be careful to have your light far enough off of them, it seems like, the Venom or the Ghost. Sometimes. Also, they can start blowing out, though, at week 6, and it's like, give me more. So I guess that can change, too, but those are beautiful. Rugburn we talked about on the Rare Dankness episode 2 is like... Rugburn just gets you so high. It's another beautiful grower. Good for tents again, but I feel like it gets you ripped. Anyone growing any OG varieties anymore? John Dominguez. Yes. So this is the problem is I grow a lot of OGs and I have a lot of OGs, but I won't sell them. And I feel like so guilty for this because sometimes I don't talk about them because I don't want to be like that person that's like, I can't give this to you or I can't sell this. But honestly, those that don't know, that Phantom OG and the Mars OG, I talk about a lot because it's such a limited group that has them. They were really expensive, like 35 grand plus. They're just like this tight little thing. But the truth is they're a pain in the ass to grow for the most part. They'll like I said, they'll set off your room, or they're more finicky, so like you can't really run drip irrigation with them. You can, but it's just they're two strains that are tough. But it's that OG, real old school OG, I guess. It doesn't offer a lot of flavor besides a real true OG. And when you look up these crosses, you can't find any information about them. They've been around since 95, maybe 96. You can find a little bit information, okay? But the crosses actually come up like it was called the planetary line. And so it'll be Pluto crossed with Mars. And you're like, well, what the hell is Pluto and Mars? And then you look up that and it's like Saturn crossed with this. Saturn's another one that was phenomenal in that group that I seem to not be able to get again. But anyways, so the Mars and Phantom OG, the Ghost OG, Kosher. Trying to think some of the other ones that are just some of my favorite that I always keep for personal smoke because they're just delicious to me. It's my favorite to smoke. The Rude Boy number 7, the Rude Boy OG we got that one from Archive a couple of months ago, maybe like longer than that now, but I don't know. It was surprising to me how much I really liked it. It stays smaller, again, like more the OGs, but it's also not as like Larry OG and some of these other ones will get so floppy and so finicky that they're really, you do have to trellis them and you do have to keep them all tamed and tight. Versus the Rude Boy is nice because it does pull a real OG flavor, but it seems to be a little bit more resilient and have a little bit more weight than some of the OGs will finish at. It just, I don't know. You guys would be surprised. That's another one that's pretty inexpensive if you guys want to try. Clone. I still hold OG cuts from early 2000s. The silent one that is seriously so phenomenal because that's what it is I hate to be that person that's like so tight with it, but it's that I just want to preserve them and I don't want them to get hoard out. And I don't want them to get diminished in quality and that's no direct bashes to any person ever. It's just Colorado got a little slimy in the genetics game and you got to hold some of your most loved babies close. I think that's the best way. Arizona Grows, it's so good to see you. I hope you have a great night. You always I'm so grateful because you always have my back and you stick up for me. You guys, I do see you and I do appreciate you so much. The silent one. I sit on the SFE, Fire, and Tahoe OG cuts. Damn, I would be sitting on those. I would be sitting on those. The Tahoe OG is another one. Fire OG, you don't see them. It's just amazing. It's amazing. The Fire OG, exactly. It's just fucking awesome. OG Rascal for my Fire OG cut around 2008. Gosh, the silent one, you're like, killing it. I grow a variety. Rusty Nails. Freebie beans are great break from normal, but it's just the extra weed. Yeah, Rusty Nails, you're right. Sometimes it's nice to just be surprised. But in general, sometimes I've gone through and really tried to hold on to bag seeds, like ridiculous, for years. And I'm saying back in the day where I just put them in a Ziploc bag and didn't know anything. It was just like, I'm going to put this in my dresser for 20 years. And sometimes I'll try to pop these seeds and some of them will pop. But the way that I like labeled things in the past, or you know how you always used to say as a stoner or as a grower that you're going to come back to something like a clone cup and you're going to remember what strain it is, or whatever it is. The plant stake's gonna fall out, and you're like, oh, I'll always know, always remember. And it's so funny. It's one thing that has now been drilled into my head. You will not remember. Okay, just for myself. I'm like, I gotta go put the stake in the thing. I gotta go. So, anyways, the seeds that you don't know anything about, it's such a refreshing. You're like, what color are these going to be? What is this going to taste like? Sometimes it's even cool to find males. I know that sounds weird to some. I think, yeah. I'm running the Face on Fire from Archive. Definitely leans towards the Wi-Fi 43. That is awesome, John. Wi-Fi 43 was another good one. Some of these I've like let go regretfully through the years, and I wish I could have them back now. I don't know what it was, but when I would see like strains like Gary Payton, they would be on the shelf somewhere at like 3 different dispensaries or something, and then I would, for some reason, go home and be like, I don't want to grow this anymore. And get some new cross. Like when we got the straw Gary, I was like, okay, we can let go of the Gary Payton, and now I'm like, damn it. I want them all back. The Wi-Fi 43 Fire OG. I can't believe you have the Fire Silent one. I really can't. I had Fire like 2020. Yeah. Maybe 2019 and 2018 was the last time I had it probably. And so nice. My grow got broken into. I've bitched about it before, but it got broken into and they stole all my favorite cuts. It took me 10 years to get 100 clone onlys of all my favorite dream strains and all the breeders' cuts, and I finally got it. And yeah, it was just got them all fixed, got it all good. And then right when it happened, snatch. It's okay though. I feel like it keeps you grounded. Let's see. Penny Pebbler. They always go after the best ones. So true. OG cuts I have are so old and haggard from age. They take 14 to 21 days to root, but well worth the hassles. Everything else roots in 7 to 10 days. This other one, you're such a like OG grower. I just love that you're pointing out these things. That's the thing. Is exactly, I've noticed that. Really old cuts, really the things that we all love, like even the Skittles. It takes so effing long to get rooted. And like everybody's like, I just want to run rooms of this, and you're like, why? And the truth is the flavor is phenomenal. And all these strains, when we're talking about to have a collection that you have, it's people don't really understand to preserve strains since 2008, the cost that goes into that, how you have to reclone so often, how it's expensive. It's expensive to keep a mom room. People don't realize it's not as expensive to keep a flower room. That calculates and makes sense. When you're preserving genetics financially, you'll be like, why am I doing this? But then you love her. Every time you have her and get to smoke her, I just love to see that you've held on and that you'll be patient through that. Rusty Nails, winner, 20 points to you. Sorry, that is just so exciting. He said red-headed stranger. That was the strain I was trying to remember earlier. It did have red hairs, and it just reminded me of the Romulan and some of those other strains, I guess. Got to keep those around forever if possible. Buzz Swan, she's tasty all right. Yeah, I'm working them myself. John started with the Stardog male and been back crossing to the cuts each gen. Gosh, that's awesome. It really is. Adam Dome. Rusty Nails. GMO is my dirty taxi. Top dog. Super stony. Yes. I think that I love that you say Top Dog's dirty taxi and the GMO is your dirty taxi. I just like how you wrote that all. It's a very good description, actually. It puts it in a better perspective for people because I tried describing this and failed miserably that one time. The GMO I work with is not very PM resistant. Oh, Papa Stone, you're totally right, though. I can see what you're saying is the GMO I have to use, like, I really do have to use at least one terpene enhancement application of sulfur In veg when they're young. I mean, it is when they're young, but typically with strains like the GMO or any of these OGs that we listed off, and I know people are like, "Ew," it's like, no, there is no residuals, no residuals. This is not a gnarly amount. This is a really low amount, but it's the only thing I found that will ensure that when I get into flour, it's not a complete nightmare, because you can't treat anything in flour. We all know, but it's just the GMO, you're right, can cause problems. The reason that I switched to rock wool in the blocks in my medium is actually to kind of help with powder mildew. It's not a break all by any means, but I think I've seen slight improvement if you can keep algae off the top and if you're running the hydrogen peroxide with strains that are prone to it. I guess when you say that, I actually feel bad because I'm like, yeah, she does. Like, she's like a week 7er though. She'll like really fuck you. Now that you say that, it's like, now that I'm thinking, like, she'll finish early, close. Like, I'm not saying exactly week 7, but I'm saying like you could probably go to 9 weeks easy. Like, I've seen people harvest GMO at 8 weeks, like all day, every day. But I think it is because at week 7, when she starts to get a little bit more dense golf balls again, colas, I will see it. Or if that canopy ever gets a little exposure to moisture. Yeah, now that you say that. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, actually, that most of the best smoking things. Shit, you in Colorado. The powder mildew, too. I don't think people realize either. And I'm not saying there's anything relevant to this, is the intake and exhaust, though, we get fucked by all the time with powder mildew sometimes here, because our nights will drop in temperature so much and then our days will be super warm. And there's like this weird time of year for Colorado in the fall and in the spring where you're just like so dramatically over 2 or 3 months of these weird temperature swings that are insane. And I think that it just makes it hard. Makes it hard as fuck. The strains that I've seen that are actually resilient to PM are a lot of the newer strains that aren't dark purple. More lavender, more lighter greens, more all that type of stuff. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but the strains that I've seen, like, really, like Strawberry, it's not even me trying to be any which way, but the Strawberry is definitely one that is like what you're talking about with the GMO, where it's like the second it really starts developing bud, period, let's just say week 4 for that one, it'll start, you could see it tease with it, where you could see like the slightest thing would set it off. It's just annoying. Effing plants. I have a mother plant that is GMO crossed with wedding cake. Sexy. Her terps are garlic and chocolate. She has very shiny tracks. That's what I'm talking about, fall dog. Sounds like a dessert, like a little, what was that, Neapolitan. She sounds so good. Growing super lemon haze crossed with GMO after lemon tangy. Oh, I want this for breakfast. That sounds so good. Hibiscus trees will attract the aphids away from your cannabis plants. Graham. Hookstergram. Thank you so much for that tip. That is an awesome tip. I think that is lovely to know, especially when people combat insects later in flower. It's really something that nobody likes to talk about, but it does happen in the summer where everything will just be beautiful and you're not spraying your shit and it's finished, like, you know, like and then one day you just come in and it's like, you see those little crawlers, or worse, when you have aphids that you think are fungus gnats. Those little bastards. John Dominguez got a skunk #1 crossed with roadkill skunk from Skunk Real Works that I'm looking for a male to cross some other too. That sounds really nice. I love that you guys are doing like these old school strains though. The skunk #1, like, everybody's palate seems to not have changed that much. I have to be honest. From these are all strains that are just staples and just bold and distinctive and amazing. I love that you guys love it. Our whole room is sour diesel and GMO. That's coming up. And it is really nice because Jay-Z gives us a lot of, he lets me pick pretty much what we're going to run. But the Colin, my right-hand man, or I'm his right-hand woman, I don't even know. We're a pretty tight team. I feel, he was like, Jay, you got to run sour diesel. You got to run sour diesel for like the last year. Like, that is all we heard. But then Jason and I were like, there's sour diesel everywhere all of a sudden, though. This cut, they were certain, it's super old. It's from 96, and we haven't had anybody have this real cut. It's one of their good friends, Jason's good friends, that's had it forever. And so it's our first time actually finishing the sour diesel, and it really actually does look like the real deal. But I was concerned because I was like, do people buy sour diesel? Because I see like JJ, that's who I would go to for sour diesel to me. This sounds funny, but I was like, what if we just, if everybody goes to Jason for Bruce Banner and everybody goes to JJ for sour diesel, or it's not even those people exactly, but I hope that over the years we'll start having like these different locations to get strains and I don't know, more like that. You guys tell me if you think that's stupid. Just got some mango GMO to pop sooner the better. Ooh, Penny Pebbler. Fall Dog Canorado. This is what I'm talking about. Canorado, we're trying to get him on the show. You guys, I love Fall Dog that you're running his stuff. Canorado freebie he sent me was Sun Paya crossed with Hotspot, which is a Wi-Fi cross. That sounds nice. That sounds really nice. Hookstagram. I get an aphid infestation every year on hibiscus. Ladybugs also follow the aphids. I love that you say that. The ladybugs, the only problem that I found with setting off ladybugs in a flower room that's late is they'll die on the bud. And it's not that they don't do work on the root aphids. Nematodes, I've seen do wonderful things with killing root aphids late in flower rooms as well. I like the hibiscus tree plant idea though. I do like the idea of doing that. We have a weird compliance thing in Colorado and commercially. I'm sure it's the same in all these regulated states, but you're not allowed to actually grow or have another plant in your cannabis production room. This is a very interesting rule, but it's just like how we can't like apply our own essential oils or mixtures for treatments or things like that. Organic applications. It's just strange sometimes, but whatever. But I'm definitely going to try this at my house because I also get aphids on my house plants, especially in the summertime. It's like, those little bastards, they're just so bad. I love that you bring up the ladybugs though. It is such a great tool to use. I just think you have to be careful if you're releasing them when your weed is basically finished or close to being finished. The trichomes and stuff, they actually stick to and die. And it's just, I don't know. You got to pull off dead ladybugs. Rosin dogs, what the heck are you doing? What's Mrs. Rosin dogs doing? Is she keeping you reined in? Rory, it's so good to see you. Gardner, oh, it's been a while. Chip Durbin, man, I did 4 grams shrooms at 5 a.m. Eastern, had a giant yard sale. So hot, took 2 showers, but I'm happy to be here. This lady is very talented in our space. Chip, thank you so much, Chip. I'm so freaking excited that you're here, making my decade. I hope your yard sale went amazing. Yard sales are still the coolest thing to go shopping at. It's like probably the only thing. It's probably the only thing that I want to do all summer, actually. It'd be cool if we could sell some shit, too. I think 2 showers. It's got to be hot where you are, Chip. Where are you at? It's got to be toasty. Rusty nails. The foxtails that never finish make it tough to tell when to harvest. That is such a good thing to point out, Rusty Nails. It really is. The foxtailing like that does make it really difficult to tell. It's even I found that plants, I don't want to say this incorrectly, but at first I've always panicked. Like truly, I've seen plants re-veg in greenhouses and flowering rooms all over, is where they'll start to figure out and they almost look very similar to the way that some of these strains will naturally grow. And I remember the first couple times that I saw strains that were just distinctively like that. You're absolutely right. It was just I almost feel like they do tend to go longer, and you will think that they're ready before they actually are. I think the first couple times working with them. You tell me, Rusty Nails, if you felt that way. I'm so glad that you pointed that out, though. Nobody would ever notice that fine detail like you just did, and that's amazing. Fall Dog, oh no, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, exactly. That's seriously awesome. I do and go, Dan. I can't wait to see what these seeds I get from Donnie Book. I hit the shoreline pollen gives me. Oh, I hit with the shoreline pollen he gave me. That shoreline smelled like a skunk's ass from seedling stage. Yes, yes. You can already strains like that, like you're saying, where you can already just get the little whiffs, get the little. You know it's gonna be good. You got to keep us posted. I'm going to get organized over the next couple weeks. We have so much shit going on, and I know I say this all the time, but I'm going to get organized so that we can have an email on the show so that you guys can send in emailed pictures and comments or really just all kinds of cool shit. Let's see. New Citrus by Stone Ninja. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Grow the Mo. Fuck, my son had a baseball game. Glad I made it. I love the apple fritter. We're glad that you made it too. Thank you, Grow the Mo. Smoking some Molokai hash right now. Heirloom. The Ohana sent me from the island. Damn, I'll do and go, Dan. That sounds delicious. Delicious. Joffrey. That Cannibal Hulk. Yes. All my cuts are originals. Drop beans. Rusty Nails. That's what's up. I like that you do both, though. I really do. It's cool. Seeds are hard to do all the time, I think. I think that, well, you guys just know. I think it is a little extra. It is a little extra work. It is a little more challenging to have a pretty big scale and be like, please don't fuck anything up. As far as, well, we know if you have feminized seeds, if you have regular seeds, I guess it just depends on what you're trying to do. But we've had shit in the past in our careers we have discussed amongst each other where we've bought fem seeds and been working with really talented people and ourselves for the experience. I'm saying with this very, very in-depth experience, and we've had rooms get completely fucked by something that somebody said was fem seeds, and then I don't know. You'll have all these phenos going on and say a couple hundred plants, and then somebody will miss the fucking sack in the middle of the tray, in the middle of the room, in the middle of the back, or God, and everything would just be like, ah. But same with potency. I know that this sounds ridiculous, and I do think it's ridiculous, but we have found that if we do pheno hunts and sell them, every time that you do a pheno hunt, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but the testing will come up lower the first time. Then once it starts to stabilize out, like say the third time, you will, and it may sound ridiculous to people, but once they get used to the environment, once they've been ran a couple times, once you guys know, it's like, yeah. So sometimes we'll see where this strains, most times, like we'll test around 19, 20, 23%. I think a lot of breeders can relate to this and then people will come in and they're like, I knew that 40%. Like, shit. Oh, boomers. What are you doing today? I was going to call you. Just getting here. I'm excited to see you. The silent one. SFV, Fire OG, Tahoe Ghost cuts are the best. Rest are just watered down to me. Yeah, you're totally right. The silent one. It's just, it really is the actuality of the situation. I think that's where the value of preserving these things is, because they just haven't been messed with. If you're looking for those flavors, that's the thing. I'm all for breeding and progressing some of these strains and crosses, of course. But it also is a fine line to me as well, though, because some of these strains really are just great, just great by themselves. And I think would actually become more resilient as a whole to things like we're talking about powdered mildew, even HLVD. Even HLVD, I think, I know that they have a lot of research already going in that direction where certain strains are prone to it and certain ones aren't and are more resilient in things. But I think that could start to stabilize as a mass across genetics as a whole, is if we focused more on keeping the classics, the classic. And I don't know how to describe it. I have such mixed feelings on my own feelings. Love your growing tips. FCP3, you are the best. I can't wait to grow the Venom OG now the beans are in transit. Yes, Bulldog. Future Cannabis Project too. I'm so glad that you said that. I love you boys over there. Gentlemen, yes, I really would like to get the guys on the show sometime. And I send you guys love. I really thank you so much for tuning in, for supporting me, for adding some nice things. I've been looking at the comments and I'm like, thank you guys again for making my life so good. I really appreciate you guys out there. Old school. Oh, I love it. Tark, what's good, everyone? Evening, JLo. Super nice to see you, Tark. I hope you and the fam are doing so good. You guys have the best pictures sometimes. I'm like, oh, look at this. Just makes me happy. Max P, I'm starting kosher tomorrow. Just ran Skywalker OG. Shit's flame. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Max P. You got good taste. I love, yeah. You guys have listed all the strains that I wish I could just have as my personal closet of weed. I really love everything that you guys are putting down right now. My favorite OGs were the celebrity lines. The Charlie Sheen OG and Amy Winehouse OG, Michael Phelps OG. I have to agree, too. There was a time and space that at Dank by Pink, actually, I got to grow all those strains, and he's really into them and breeds himself. But used a lot of these in his own crosses, and all of them are great. They're great strains to grow, and the flavor of everything that you just said. I would love to get some of those back. The Charlie Sheen OG, haven't seen that one since like 2015. And Michael Phelps, I've seen it in the last couple years. Very, very slim and far and few between. Miss that. Miss her. Rusty Nails. I think the planetary strains came from Apollo lines from Brothers Grimm. Actually, Rusty Nails, it's from this guy. I'll remember his name right now. You guys will know. You guys will know. Johnny OG. Johnny OG is his name. I would love to have him on the podcast as well. I don't know if he'd actually do it. But he's supposedly the original breeder of them. It's really hard. I acquired these probably one of the most legit ways I have ever acquired something in my earlier days in this is Pink House. Pink House was one of the very few companies that had them because this gentleman, Bryce, I've talked about him before, is he brought the papaya to Colorado. He's really tight in California with all the gents down there. And he had the plug on cuts. He wasn't like really, like he was a grower. He used the shit out of canna. He was a grower. I can't say he was. He just, I don't think that he's a good hustler. He's a good hustler. And so he brought all these genetics here and would put everybody in contact with the right people, which is awesome. But when we all worked at Pink House is when I fell in love with all this shit. And they were the only ones that had it at the time. And that's why those strains were so expensive. But then it was weird. Johnny OG just like disappeared. He wasn't in Colorado. Like I said, he's from California. I wonder what he's doing nowadays though. I think he's still in it, but he never disclosed what the crosses actually were in those strains, even to like that little tight group. And I don't know, to me, really, they're just OG. Oh, But I love that you say that. I Brothers Grimm though, I think there's a chance that some of these people also worked with these genetics after too. I just we gotta. I love that you say this, Rusty Nails. Grow the Mo. Kim Based has always been my fave. Papa Stone, White Walker, Alien was my fave OG. White Walker and Alien. Gosh. I forget like how good so many of these strains are. Saturn and Mars OG were really hit back in 2000. Saturn. I've never been able to get Saturn. I've tried a billion times. There's a couple people, I guess, that still have it in Denver, and they don't have the Mars or the Phantom, so I wanted to be like, I'll trade you one if you trade me this one. But who knows? They said they've done it multiple times. I've had multiple people tell me they'll do this, and it's hard. It's fucking hard. The silent one. Real OG is very funny and floppy, if not tied up or caged. Yes, that is exactly why. It's like that Larry OG. It's like the Mars, the Phantom, all the ones that we're talking about. I would say some of the better ones for growing, like even White Walker was definitely like that. It does that flop all over. You can almost like braid it. Just kidding. But the Alien, I would say, grows best out of all of those strains listed there. For an OG though, Alien seemed to like stay clean, stay nice sizing wise. It would only get like 8 foot tall, which is pretty small in this space compared to the other plants. And we would do a cage over it, just like you're saying. And the trellis I have to do on the other strains in that list. You could trellis the Alien too, but I feel like that one's like the cleanest, where it's like a little bit stronger of a stalk, actually. But maybe I'm wrong too. Paris OG and Diamond OG, top-notch strains out of LA. I would have loved either of those strains, both of those strains. I haven't ever got to smoke Diamond OG. I wish I did. Fall Dog, where do we get it? I have 3 dirty taxi girls to select. A mom from Drop 3 Reg Beans, hoping to get one girl. LOL. Rusty Nails. It's so cool. It's so cool that you actually do, like, you do the work. You can tell Rusty Nails that you just love it and that you love your plants. I love to see this. The silent one, I'm with you, J-Lo. I've had people try to buy my cuts, etc. I hold of OG and get turned down. It cost me friendships. Yeah, and online it's what is what it is. I'm an old forum head. That's the truth. Is I don't think I would have ever got broken into. It was like a good friend of mine, and I don't think that would have happened if I didn't have some of these things. And it sounds ridiculous because people would never think that, but there was a point I had a strain that was on a list for $1 million. I wasn't supposed to have this strain, I'll be honest about that. But they knew I did, and I didn't like steal it or anything like that. It's just we worked together at one point in time. They gave it to me, and then they changed their mind. And I think that it's strange because I would have never sold it or gave it to anybody anyways, and I'm not just saying that. It's like it was just kind of this personal. Some strains you like grow just to have like the memories of people or something like that. Cruise, I don't know. But anyways, when this place got broken into, it was because somebody like saw the value in these things. But they didn't realize like how long it took you and how much money it costs to like fix, or like I was saying, like just run lights on something that you're not going to sell and that you're not flowering, and the cost of materials, like everybody knows, like when you're growing, it's expensive. And so anyways, I think when you preserve, it's not to be an asshole, but people will actually get upset with you. Like I've had people ask, and it is your friends, where they ask you for your most near and dear cuts or the most valuable ones, and they just act so nonchalant about it, or that they're entitled to it. And it's not to be an asshole in any way, shape, or form, but when you actually have this attachment to these plants and this respect, and I'm not saying that they don't, but they probably didn't go through the same effort that you did to acquire this and preserve it. There's been times in my life where I hit tough moments where I was just like, shit, do I sell everything and just devalue my shit tomorrow so I can pay this or do this? And it's like, no, it's like you've had to stay really firm and resilient, even in the times that have been tough, where I've seen a lot of other people take the other path. And then you'll see these strains like literally being just hoard out everywhere. And then they do tank in value massively and quickly. They never get to really have the value that you guys listed today. All these cuts, like everybody would kill for, and you don't see everywhere. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to see, Silent One, that you actually love your plants like that. And same with all of you other kind people in the chat, because it's encouraging to still see in the industry. Not even the industry, like we're evolving, and yeah, there's this love. There's this love still there. Stutter, is so good to see you. I have Chem 91. Oh, sorry, Rusty Nose. I have a Chem 91 from CSI S1 that doesn't eat itself in late flower. That's nice too. Oh, Chem 91. She's like a little boss too. Beast. I miss that strain too. It'd be cool to see some varieties of that though. OG Rascal is who I got my cut of Fire OG came from via Ice Mag forums around 2008-ish. That was like the best time in fucking weed though. Genetics especially. I mean, maybe not to like some of the people that, I don't know. If I said that to a certain group, they'd probably be like, no. But there was definitely, I know there's a lot of good stuff in the 90s for sure. But the real like distinctive definitions between all these varieties, I feel like 2008, 2009, so awesome. Fel Bundy, I respect you so much, and I appreciate you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys in the chat, and I am so grateful for your kind words. I know that you guys probably don't know how much I really mean that, but Fel Bundy, thank you. And I hope that you are having a fantastic week, and you have some really good things come your way. I think for the most part, keeping a mother, you have to let her outside every once in a while. Penny Peddler, I'd agree with that. I love that. Sometimes I've had to fix facilities. This is funny that you can't really do this at whatever. It doesn't matter. Is I've had some home grows that I've helped with, and I've had to take their plants outside to wash off root aphids and things like that. And it's funny. You see these plants just like, yes, why can't I live in the sun? But got too much shit out here. Lots of incredible genetics locked up. People won't sell, give, but it's understandable. It's true. But I think that even when I say that, though, is there has been very far and few people that I've ever met between, though, that I do trust with certain genetics, and that I know love it just as much as me, and wouldn't give it out or wouldn't sell it in some of these. But they would just flower it and share it with their friends. I'm all for that. I would probably quit growing if I lost my OG cuts. It would crush me at the point I would quit after 26 plus years. Yeah, I agree. If they actually took everything, it's funny, but the reason I knew this was a person that I knew is because they left, not the genetics, but they left a couple plants, and the couple plants that they left was enough that I was just like, well, okay. But it is that feeling, like even when they come up, like not this necessarily at all, but even when certain strains have come up though since that I haven't been able to get back, there is this like pain that nobody else will understand. I'm like, shit, I need her back. Like I just need her back. I think it's cool that you guys feel that way too though. Silent One, it's so cool that you have just done it for so long, period. That's such dedication. Everything I grow is from seed unless I keep a cut. Then it's my dirty tech seed. Oh, that's so cool. But I always credit where I bought the seeds from so you can find the mom too. Rusty nailed this. It's really respectful, super nice. Burger is replacing GMO. You're absolutely right, Joffrey. The triple burger we had, we still have it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still pondering. I've only harvested it once. I have her coming up in another room, and I wanted to see what the gentlemen think at the garden, because I don't know. I need to see it again. Joffrey, what do you think? Is maybe the triple burger isn't a good example? Have you ran the triple burger specifically, or is it the same as what? I'm not sure. I just think that it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see. Dirty Taxi from JJ at Top Dog is GMO and is Chem D an I-95 male. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. The I-95, I lost my I-95. This is one that I regret just losing like an idiot. I don't know why I like stopped caring about it one day. I think I had too many strains. We got too many strains. We had so much going on. I had like 100 and something, like 140 or something like that. It was just like too much. And that was one of the ones that for some reason I was like, I'll keep SFV instead of I-95. It's like, damn it. So, yeah, I've been trying to get back my I-95. A male of I-95 I've worked with before from Dank by Pank. But JJ's, I would be so curious to see JJ's I-95 male. It's probably beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm OG and Chemhead, followed by GG4 and Sour. All those are great. That's the thing. All of those are fantastic. We have from Dark Horse is he held on to this Gorilla Glue number 5 cut. And I've grown the shit out of the number 4 and smoke. I love it. But I feel the GG5, it's pretty. They're really similar. I wouldn't deny that, but supposedly the 5, they say a little something, a little something special. I have packs of JJ stuff, packs and packs of JJ stuff to drop. That's really so cool. That would be awesome. JJ the best. Oh, we have a nice sour back cross 3 from JJ Rosin Dogs. That's awesome. LMNO-Z. Rosin Dogs. Don't be talking shit. Sour Family Farms. We love them. New Turf City. I love it. I'm going to breed a new strain called the Dog. Yep. Just for you, Rosin Dogs. I'm going to use one of my crosses, a pistol whip. Just kidding. With some Star Dog. It'd be awesome. It'd be Rosin Dog's gangster. Roy Gardner, you rock. It's so freaking nice of you. Thank you so much. Seriously. Tat Van Horn, I need to talk to you too. Been trying to talk to you for at least too long. Let's talk. I know, I gotta call. Seriously, I'm getting back to everybody. I know nobody believes me, but Tyler, we really do need to talk. And I'm trying to catch up on my shit all the time, and we keep... It's okay. It's gonna work out. Robert, Mr. Greenfingers, where have you been my whole life? Oh, so good to see you. Satan Seeds. Gosh. Thank you for joining us tonight. The next show is going to be fantastic. I'm sorry that we didn't get to talk about really cool stuff the last 2 shows, but I think that you guys will really enjoy, like I said, these upcoming shows. I think it's going to be, I need to talk to you. I have a huge opportunity. That's what I like to hear, Ty Van Horn. Let's talk about it. He still owes me $20 disbanded. What would I do without you two? I could use your advice. Help some lovely shit. I'll pay for your consulting and stuff, but we are better than that. But I'll give an awesome tip towards the podcast, and I'll buy 3 or 4 clones right now. Just pop 10 Black Banana in Cherry Banger F4 for my outdoor. Gosh, Ty Van Horn, that's what's up. Thanks for making my day. I feel like absolutely, for reals. We will talk. Let's talk tomorrow. Let's see. I love that you ladies are talking about these aphid solutions. That's why I love the chat too, is you guys always come up with the good stuff. Since you were talking so much about the purple punch, I'm having to take a dab of it right now. Love for the plant. Describe it. Describe her flavor. Just, I know that maybe some people have smoked it, but it really is. You guys, let's talk about the purple punch. I always made it sound like so meh, but the thing is that when the first time I ever grew purple punch, I was fucking mind blown. I was like, this plate is like finished at day 55. It looks like it tests at like I said, some obscene number. I just, whatever. It just looks super tricked out. And it had that really pretty purple color. And it wasn't like dark purple like some of these new strains will get. It really wasn't. It was just so light and so beautiful. I could see why everybody fell in love with it. But I just feel bad that there's something about the flavor that it's not that it's not good. It's not that it's not good. It's just, it's so, it's, I don't know. I need you to describe it. I need you to describe love for the plant, what you taste with the purple punch. Oh, this is my shot, Jay, for real. I fucking need you to know like never before. I'm dumb, crazy, nervous. Of course, it's while you guys are crazy busy. Oh, no, Ty Van Horn. Seriously, I will help you with anything that you need. And I do take it very seriously. Don't panic. We will do whatever you need to. And we'll get you clones and genetics. I will make sure that you're good. I'm excited to hear what you're up to. It sounds good. Batch to batch, so different. Show the screen with all the strains you are looking up at. Yeah, it's fucking annoying to me too. Sorry. This is the thing, is the studio is laid out the best way. If you guys saw the studio inside, this would make so much more sense to you. But there is not a screen in front of me. And so I know that you guys know that, but it makes it difficult because it just makes it difficult the way it is. But because you have to access the computer to do my screen in my show, it just, you guys will see one day. But I can read you some of the strains that I have on. I just made a list the other day. I hope my phone does not die right now. Okay, let's see. This is the most recently updated. This is the ones of some of the things that we can sell. And then I have another list of some of the things I don't sell. But you guys probably don't care about that list. So, Mic Drop, that's a new one. Gelato 41, White Diesel, Royal OG, Max Stomper. Not the biggest fan, I'll be honest. Right now, and I'm just contemplating keeping her, but it also is something unique as well. You guys tell me what you think about the Max Stomper. Sunset Animal, African Blueberry, Frozen Bananas, Grape Pie, Lemon Tree, LA Kush, Bruce Banner number 3, Bruce Banner number 5, Stardog. That is JJ's cut. Well, these are all their cuts, honestly, of the breeders, but JJ specifically gave this to a really close, yeah, and it was cool because I had Stardog from previously, and when I got this cut, is I switched them out, and I've really been impressed with this Stardog. Like, it's cool. I don't know, if you're a fan of JJ, the Stardog is nice. Peel Out, Triangle Kush, Blue Dream, Pine Sol. Pine Sol is another one that I'm not ecstatic about. I still need to see it finish longer. I think it might be a 12 or 13 week strain from what I'm gathering. So it's not, just being transparent, it's not one of the most ideal. OGKB is such a unique growing plant. So I love OGKB, but yeah, it's got this unique everything. Runs, apples and bananas. Those are some of the ones that are for sale. SFV. I sell SFV. This is the other list. Mars OG, Boo Kush. She's what I do all my breeding projects with. I absolutely love Boo Kush. I will never sell it. I will never trade it. I will never do anything. And it is because she's my prize baby that I do a lot of my work with. But yeah, the Boo Kush is Cotton Candy Romulan crossed with Ghost OG. And it's just, I love her. Phantom OG, Ghost OG, Chem 4. Some of these ones I actually just got, and they're a little sick. That's the truth. And so that's why some of these aren't for sale, is because they're going to go through a little doctor process. So the Chem 4 is one that I got recently. It's not doing so hot. And the Granddaddy Purple, I was excited to get the real Granddaddy though. I was like, it's worth it. Roid Rage, That one's not part of the sick list. That's a Dark Horse genetics strain. Really good for hash. And if you are on that skunk and Kim and Diesel train, you would fucking like this strain. I'm not just saying that. Golden Goat, Foof, Pre 98 Bubba. That's another one I got that's sick, but I'm excited to have her back. The Rainbow Sherbet, number 11. She is not sick, but Durban Poison, excited to have her back. Candy Fumes. I got Beazle, and I'm ecstatic about it. Beazle was bred when I was the head grower at headquarters in 2011. I worked with them for years after that, but it was so long ago, and it was just so cool that 710 is one of the only companies I've seen that still has it, and I'm excited. Moonshine Haze is one that I don't sell right now, and it's nothing personal. It's just my moonshine ended up getting sick. It got aphids a while ago, and it was just devastating. So before I'll release her again, is I have to make sure that she is just good to go she's resilient, honestly, to it again. And then the straight lemonade that I was talking about earlier. There's some more, like we have the rainbow belts, of course, and so obviously like the purple starburst and some of the other ones that I didn't mention, but you guys tell me. I'm sorry, username, that this all started with me bitching about this side, but show the screen with all the strains. I wish that I could just show you what this looks like instead of the side of my face. I'll try to be like better. I'll try to do it like this. I just need to put my phone over there. Yeah, okay. Disbanded, Colorado. I love how disbanded you're like, you guys have all these shit problems. Or are you, yeah, what are you saying? Disbanded, what are you saying? Is this a period? A lot of breeders showing nice Affy crosses again. Yes, a lot of Sour D and Bubba as well. It's true. They are coming back. Oh my God, mixed feelings about my feelings. That shit's funny. Oh. I've regretted giving out special cuts more times than I've regretted hoarding, and that's sad. Yes, love for the plant. That is sad. I'm very sorry to hear that. Some of these people that I've met along my journey, I'll hold on to their cuts literally just to hold on to them because we've all been burned in these ways. And sometimes people give me stuff to fix, but they don't care when, like, this time frame or anything like that, which is nice. And it's sad because they just genuinely want you to hold on to it without like fucking them over. I've just smoked Triple Burger. It hits harder than the other ones. Well, that's good to know. It's my favorite burger. Joffrey, I'm really glad to hear you say that because the first time that I ever ran it was the first time I got the cuts. And usually I don't like to run cuts when I first get them from somebody, is I like to fix them or treat them how I like and then kind of start them fresh. But these plants, they were just like a little bit older. So I didn't know if I was getting like a true, genuine example of it. You know what I mean? But the room is only, I think that room's 4 weeks out. It still got a little bit, but it is in there. And I'm excited. And you made me way more excited because I was hoping, some of these strains we got, hoping that they would really be that OG that we're all talking about. But we also do want to see more resilient sides to them for selling to people, and so and for production, not even just like I'm saying for ourselves, but for other people. It's like these other strains like we're talking about, and I was glad that you said the GMO was prone kind of to show in the PM and stuff. Is there's just certain strains that it's nice if you can achieve that flavor and same kind of goals, I guess, but without some of these battles. Yes, Duff Nug, I hope that you're not leaving us. Oh, it's so great to see you. J-Lo looks fabulous tonight. Props to our lovely hostess, Michelle. Gosh, I bet you look so freaking beautiful tonight. Thank you so much. You guys are just so nice to me. Skunk Cape Glassworks, cheers to you. Michelle, I really just love you. I hope you know that every day I think about you, okay? I feel like you and boomers and all of us just need like a partio hangout day. Joffrey, double hash hand solo and GMO just don't have the efficiency of Triple Burger. That triplet is special. Damn, Joffrey. Fuck yes. Thank you. 4x4 and double burger. I have a 4x4 and double burger. Oh. J-Lo, Leafy is saying that the Zope is at RS11 Backcross, I think. Really, Fall Dog? Thank you so much. Leafy, I'm sorry about misunderstanding that. I did not know that. Well, then that explains a lot of shit. That's sad. That's sad if I've been thinking they were different this whole time, though. Probably popping them in a year or two. Oh, building up the hype. T-Star from Top Dog is also a winner. Trinity crossed with Star Dog. I love that Trinity, too, from back. I imagine that. Maybe we'll have to talk to JJ. Don't talk to me. Disbanded. Come on. I do in Godan. For real, there are things we always search for. I'm always trying to get that juicy fruit bubblegum terp. That original bubblegum. Yeah. We all know it up in here. And some legit root beer. Once I have the root beer, I'm going to turn that into Dr. Pepper. I really like that. That's good. Disbanded. Excuse me. So funny. Rotten Skateboards, great evening treat. Hope all is groovy and you're burning good. Send me your new contact info. Oh, Elbow. Your tire's talking to Elbow. Sorry to interrupt. That's so nice. Thank you, Ryan. I hope you have a really good day tomorrow. And a good everything, actually. I have to go to garden before bed. Gotta go set 2 drop beans on the 6th new moon. Good to know, Rusty Nails. I actually have some clones. I'm trying to shoot for them going out on the 6th because of this. Crossing my fingers that means that everybody will be just happy. Happy. Purple Punch and Raspberry Kush should be purged. I have love for every other cannabis plant I've ever been exposed to. Oh, I love that. What clones do you have right now? Because I never know what's up with the list. I know, I'm so bad about... Guys, if you guys knew, the reason the list is such a pain in the ass is because everything gets switched out so often. We're like... I won't go into all these details, but it changes so much because they get used for different things or people buy them. So I don't even know, but it's a pain in the ass. So yes, I will tell you, Ty, I have to do this for a couple different people. Tomorrow is Dark Horse's birthday, so I'm not going to lie. I have to take care of the birthday man. Taking on adventures, doing cool shit. Hopefully. Just kidding. I'm making them do it. But I will definitely get back to everybody by Wednesday at the latest. And I know that sounds long. I probably will have time. I probably will do this tomorrow. I still have to work a little bit. But I'm just being honest that we might have a little Wednesday delay here. For AU artists out there. Wait, it was 75 to 78 because of that. Let's see. 87. OGKB with the Saw Blades Leafs disbanded. You little badass. Yes, that's exactly. I was like, well, how could I describe this? I can't. Thank you for doing it. I would probably get that golden goat. Yes, Penny. I feel like give me a minute to just get one more round out of it away from the original. Sounds so weird, but from the original where I just got it and everything, give her a little, just give me a couple weeks. I'm sorry, but I want her to be perfect for you. And she's just not quite big enough yet, but she's almost there. But I would love for you to have her. It is the real deal. It is. I don't think that you could ever lie about Golden Goat by any means, but if you are a Golden Goat lover, which I am, I was just like, right when I saw the cuttings of it, I was just like, this is her. It's such a distinctive situation. Dino Grow. Gosh, I'm so bad at this sometimes. I'm sorry, guys. I can read. I'm waiting on a headband to cross with I-95 that's on its way. I can't wait. That sounds amazing. The headband used to be one of my favorites. Over the Sour Diesel, I really, really liked headband. I always loved growing Sour Diesel because once you dialed it in, there's nothing like it. But the headband, just that flavor and just, again, how high Just get ripped off that strain. Mike Denver, where the hell have you been? Been missing you? Oh, you got that original bubblegum? Did you get this from the Dun? I'm so jealous. Mike Denver is freaking awesome. So awesome. My older brother, it's funny, he's never been like a weed smoker or like really crazy about it, but there was a point in his life that he grew, and he grew completely different from each other. But he actually grew like the moonshine mix. Like what Dark Horse was talking about is Scott's blend. And it's just funny, as my brother was a huge, huge fan of what they were up to. And the Sunshine 4 mix is really how I could, but he loved bubblegum. It was the only strain I ever saw him ever smoke, ever want to grow. He wanted just rooms of it. Oh, Just Bandit, I love you. You guys are just awesome. Mike Denver, is that the done cut? I like how we're all like, oh, Adam gave you his good. That is awesome. I hope you guys sleep. I hope you sleep well too. Just Bandit and the fam. Mike Denver, JLo, the power outages in April made our teens flower. Most reverted back, no problem, except the C99. Any advice how to get it to re-veg? So, yeah, that's absolutely awful. I'm so sorry to hear that. This is the thing, is depending on how far you were in to flower when they started Mike Denver to re-veg like that, I think that's where the variables go into, because this sounds ass backwards, but I would either, I mean, probably like what you're pondering is I would either go and continue them into flower and just, it's not going to be, again, it's, what week are you at, Mike Denver? What weeks did this get fucked up, actually? Because that'll determine how you're going to answer. Because if they were young into flower when it fucked up, I would actually put them back into veg. But I would do 24 hours of light, which sounds weird. But this is only if you were like 2 weeks into it, maybe pushing into the third week. I know this is like squirrely. It would take you longer, obviously, to finish this round. But I would take it back into veg. Versus if you're past week 3, I would just keep it on. And I know that's so annoying, but depending on what, you should be out of the trenches then. If it was the power outages, well, no, I guess that your room's probably is a little bit old. Mike Denver, you just gotta text me. You gotta show me what you're working with. Let's smoke. Let's talk about it, because that is fucking frustrating. The fact that you have Sydney 99 though in bubblegum, I'm extremely jealous. If you want to talk to anybody, I think that is so sad that happened to you guys. Made our teens flower. Oh, okay. I'm fucking this up. If it's your teens that are flowering, yeah, Mike Denver, put them back in veg. I would do 24 hours of light on them for the next like 3 weeks. And I know that's so annoying, but it will probably revert faster than you think. Sometimes as well is if you play with the lights, not play with them like crazy, but say if you pull them out, if they have light all the time, this is ridiculous sounding, but sometimes you can turn off the lights for a whole day, like a whole 24 hours, and then you can start and put them on another 24 hours. And I'm not saying certain genetics respond differently to this. I think you would be fine with this Indy 99, honestly. But I would go back to 24 hours of light. I would just force them back into it. And they'll probably look like weird for just a minute. There's also some products that you can buy. I wouldn't, but there's products like Switch is one of them that if you run into this problem, they have just a pretty like easy, I'm trying to remember the active ingredient in it. I'm sorry, Mike Denver, but it's called Switch, and it's for if you run into problems like that later into flower. But I think because you just have teens is, yeah, I would put them back into veg. Or you force flower them and do like Sea Green. And I still think that they would take off for the first 3 weeks, like anything else, where maybe you could recover some of the loss in growth. Damn, that just really sucks. Sorry, I'm just like imagining in my head, like if you have any, like what your bud sites look like. I imagine they're pretty small, Mike Denver. I'm just fucking sorry that happened. Oh yeah. Put it outside and then take cuts. That's what's up, dog pounds. Oh, okay. Mike Denver, the power outages happened, excuse me, happened in veg. Everything reverted back except the Cindy 99. Our light cycle is 20, and 4 hours off. I'll bump it to 24 and see. Yeah, Mike Denver, honestly, the Cindy 99 will probably go back once you do the 24 hours. It's so weird and so annoying that it's like that, but I've also tried doing that or keeping them at 18 and 6 and had other situations or whatever where I'm trying to re-veg a plant. And I think that it's just better if you go for that full spectrum. And I bet you'll see it go back completely in 2 weeks. It's just depend like from the time frame that we're talking about, like from what it seems like to me. But I think it'll go back a lot faster than you think. It's so annoying when that happens. Like I've had plants fuck up like that with exit signs and stuff at grows, or if somebody leaves the green lights on in the room that are supposed to be like fine for the plants and all this, like whatever is shit like that is just so so frustrating. But if the Cindy 99 is the only one to be doing it still, is if you take, I would try to take a clone off of it, just because if this is your last cut of it or your mom plant of it and you can't afford to lose her, is I would take a clone off of it, even if it has flower on it. It's annoying because you'll have to watch the humidity in your dome to make sure that the flower doesn't cause rotting or something on the clone. But if you do this where, say you only soak the rock wool cube or whatever you're using, but I would use rock wool for this to keep it drier in a weird way, is I would just barely drop it in there for 60 seconds, take the clone, take 2 clones off the plant, and use a bigger block. Use like the 2-inch block if you have to make sure that it stays stable if it has any weight on it compared to like a normal clone. But then you have it backed up. You could seal up the dome and everything for 7 days. You just like leave it and just have that kind of doing its thing. You can treat it after, even if it starts to get like a little bit funky or something. I would still keep it closed to get it rooted and just take off the dome every 2 days if you really wanted to get it a little bit more air. But you probably want the humidity just to get the roots going, but faster is what I'm saying. But I would probably just do that to have it backed up. And then even if that clone takes longer to get back into it's going to sprout its new growth a lot faster probably than waiting for the whole plant though, where you got like a double dip scenario. All right, guys. Dino Grow, I'm new to following your channel. I'm glad I found it. No, thank you. Okay, I know, Dino Grow, I'm so glad that you said this, but I promise the show will be better than what you've seen. Excuse me. It's been a little crazy with the new store and the new grow and our current stuff. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to like launch all these lines, and I know that there's a couple of you guys that are excited. I'm excited. In Dino Grow, I just feel bad because just hang in there with me. We have some great guests, some great shit, some stuff coming up. And I will be so organized one day. You guys won't even believe I'm the real person. You'll be like, what happened to J-Lo? She has everything here. And one day soon, we are going to change up the studio. So you guys don't have to worry about seeing my sideways view. But baby steps, 1 week at a time. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. And I really love you guys. You don't believe me, but you make my decade. Every time I get to see you and every time I get to get all my grow stuff off my chest and we get to hang out together, I really appreciate you listening and engaging. Yes. You guys are the reason I'm going to keep doing the show. So you just keep on keeping it on. And blessings on your week. Peace and love.
No.